creative living, utilizing today's technology with the best of the past to bring you innovative ideas and up-to-date information for creative lifestyles in today's active world. With your host, Sheryl Borden.
I'm so glad you joined me today for Creative Living. We're going to learn to decorate cookies with a watercolor technique. We'll show how to make a wall hanging using an old vinyl record, and then we'll demonstrate some turkey recipes for family celebrations. One of my guests is Nancy Seiler, and she's with Wilton Brands in Woodridge, Illinois. Nancy's going to show how to give a butterfly cookie a painted effect using thinned royal or cookie icing to create a kaleidoscope pattern. Then she adds other items for added flair. Another guest is Lisa Rojas, and she's a mixed media artist and designer from Victorville, California. Lisa's going to be using graphic 45 papers, a vinyl record, and embellishments to create a beautiful wall hanging. Her business is Stamping Queen Creations. And finally, we'll talk to Marty Van Ness, and she's a home economist for Butterball. Marty's going to talk about go-to recipes for family celebrations, including snack ideas for kids, healthy lunch ideas, and even ideas for using leftover turkey. She also has innovative turkey recipes for dinner time that she'll share with us. Marty, thank you so much for being with us today.
Happy to be here.
Ever since my husband had heart surgery several years ago, we have use turkey in some of the most inventive ways. And what I love, though, is that I've found that all of the recipes I used before that called for beef can almost all be substituted with one type of turkey.
Absolutely, Sheryl. Turkey is a great lean protein. I've added it more to my diet, my husband's diet, and it's just great to even start the kids on, a little more turkey product all through the year.
Well, and as one of my kids said, you can't even tell the difference, Mom.
Oh,
and,
sure.
And that's true. So
yes.
if we want to make spaghetti, you can make it with the ground turkey, for
Absolutely.
instance. Well, these are some go-to recipes. Why do you call them go-to?
Go-to, it means it's the easy alternative. Usually have things on the shelf. We like to develop recipes so that you can get product right out of your pantry, right on the kitchen shelf. And they're not unusual. They're very adaptable for families. Small children will love the flavors. And it's just a great lean source of protein. And then you punch it up with the vegetables and the other products that you already know. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about this first one. This is a frittata, which I love.
Oh, the turkey frittata. Now, this is great for brunch, but you can do it for dinner. You can do it for lunch.
It can be a main dish.
Absolutely. It's a basic frittata with the eggs and the milk, but then you add angel hair pasta, which is a very thin pasta, and these are ingredients that you can cook ahead of time. And I like to save time, maybe do a few things the day before.
That's good. Chopping
up the red bell pepper. Also, the main turkey product in here is the turkey bacon.
Oh, bacon.
And sometimes I use turkey bacon. Sometimes I use the smoked Butterball turkey and chop that up instead of the bacon.
Or if you're out
Either
of it.
one, sure. And then a package of spinach. So with all those flavors in there, you get a good green spinach vegetable in for children and for ourselves too. It's a great heart healthy.
It is, and it's very filling. So
very, yes.
It's great to serve. What about this with the sausage? Now, I like the sausages.
Right, the smoked sausage is a favorite in our household, and this is really easy because you use the grill. And the sausage and the zucchini and the red peppers and onions are put into a large sheet of foil. You roll it up, and you roll it up around the edges and make it a foil packet. Add a little bit of butter, or you can spray it with
oil or something.
Olive oil, anything like any kind of an oil, because it's going to go right on the grill. And follow the directions at butterball.com, and you'll have a great, weekday meal.
And sometimes we think about using turkey products only at the holiday season, but these are great recipes for year-round.
All year round, family friendly, and leftovers are great.
You bet.
To take to lunch.
In fact, that's why I like to cook a big turkey, bigger than I'll need, because I like the leftovers just as well.
I do the same thing, Sheryl.
Okay, let's talk about this one.
Okay, this is our turkey quesadillas.
Oh, quesadillas.
And that has a lunch meat in there and some red bell pepper, and it's just on 2 large 10-inch tortillas. And after you assemble the tortilla for the quesadillas, you lift it into a skillet that's been warm, preheated with a little bit of spray oil or any kind of fat in the pan. and then cook it on one side for about 3 minutes.
Just to
turn it
soften
over
it.
and cook it, and finish until until everything melts. And then you can cut it into quarters if you want lunch or sandwiches. Sometimes I'll cut them into thirds, like smaller pieces for hors d'oeuvres, and reheat them in the oven.
These are great to go in a lunchbox too.
Absolutely.
For kids that take their
the
lunches.
kids love that.
The quesadillas are always a popular treat.
They are. They are.
Okay, we have a croissant sandwich. I recognize. What else is inside the croissant?
Well, we call these our turkey turnovers, and it's the refrigerated croissants that you make into a square and press the little perforations together, and then put in a mixture of sautéed onion and mushroom, a little bit of chopped mushroom, and a little bit of whipping cream just to add that richness. Per serving, you only have about 1.5 tablespoons of whipping cream, so it's not
sinful.
Not too bad. And then you roll that up, or turn it over into a triangle, or roll it this way, and then bake it until it gets nice and golden brown. Your ingredients in there are already
Again,
cooked.
everything you've mentioned, I have either in the pantry or in the refrigerator.
Absolutely, easy to find on the shelf at the grocery store too.
It really would be. And this is called the ultimate, huh?
The ultimate TLT, turkey, lettuce, and tomato.
Oh.
And this features our easy use lunch meat, the lunch slices of turkey or deep fried turkey. The deep fried is a wonderful flavor too. If it's,
I bet it is.
If you find that, but either product works just as well.
Sort of a play on the frying of the turkey that people are really enjoying.
But instead of BLT, we could use turkey bacon, but the turkey slices are just delicious, and they're great for a lunchtime meal.
So go-to, meaning that everything's pretty much available. Of course, check your recipe ahead of time. I have been known to need something right in the middle of it. But,
well, you can always substitute.
Well, I think that's good too. And you mentioned going to the website, thebutterball.com. We can do that year-round.
Absolutely. And all these recipes are found at butterball.com.
Great. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you being here, and this looks delicious.
Oh, it is. Thanks for inviting me.
It's so nice to have you with us, Lisa. And you said this whole segment was going to be on gluing.
Basic gluing, yes.
Okay. I think I can follow you on this. But how did you design this project using a vinyl record?
You know, I started off with the paper. The paper is what inspired me, because the paper is, it's musical notes, and you can see on the sample that's got the keyboard and stuff on it. So I started from there, and I thought, oh, wouldn't that be a beautiful wall hanging, and to do it on an album or a vinyl record.
And any of us that are old enough probably have some of these. Now, some of the young kids, if they're watching, have no idea what these things. They're not plates, they're not chargers.
No,
these are vinyl records.
Plain old vinyl records. Yes, I had to beg my husband for some old ones because he wasn't giving his up.
I don't blame him with a few that I have, but some of them we could part with. And this is an example of what you've done with this plain vinyl record, and you've basically glued all this stuff on there.
That's basically it. It's the beautiful graphic 45 papers. They come in all different themes, and they're just absolutely gorgeous, and they just inspire me so much.
Well, I'm glad there's people like you who get inspired. I can copy, but I have to see somebody else's work. And I just think this is so cute. This is a little book that you actually bought that was shaped like this.
Right, like a gear. It's the steampunk theme.
Oh,
is what that I was going for with the gears and things like that. That's what that came from.
But you've added all of the embellishments. It was just a flat board.
It was just a flat board, and then then I added everything. And then on each piece, on each page, you can pull.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, you can pull those little tags out there
and write or put a picture.
Exactly.
Oh, I hadn't even noticed that.
Yeah.
Because I thought, well, maybe you could put your picture here, and I guess you could. But then if you had the little tags in here, you could do your journaling on that.
There you go, and put your pictures up there. That would be perfect.
Yeah. Oh, I just love that. But I saved the best for last.
This is
and
my
you
favorite.
said you love Wizard of Oz.
Yes,
well,
ma'am.
I do now for sure.
Yes, ma'am.
And you just bought the book, first of all.
Yes.
The book
It's just a
and
cardboard book.
And these are papers, and you've made it three-dimensional because you put foam adhesive behind them. I don't know if we can see. Yeah, you can see the little foam peeking back behind there.
Yep.
And again, like things could go in here.
Yep, and those
Oh, I
are
love the
also tags.
decorations.
These are also tags that are also tags and embellishments
this.
by Graphic 45. They
Oh,
have a
so
whole,
everything's for
They
the
usually have a line of,
Two of 'em.
embellishments that go with their papers. Yes. So they've got some very gorgeous stuff.
And this is one of those you'd never get tired of looking at because I'm seeing something different each time I've opened this.
Yes, and it's not. This is not something that you can do in an hour's time. This takes some work. It's a lot of work, but it's fun.
I will look at this in detail later, but let's show
Okay.
everyone how to make the vinyl record.
Let's show how this
wall
goes.
hanging.
Okay, the very first thing that you're going to do is pick out your papers that you want to use.
And these come what, 12?
They come
12
in
in?
12 by 12,
Okay.
12 by 12 sheets, and then you can also buy them in a 6 by 6.
Oh,
So
for the little scrapbooks.
right? So you can
Okay.
do them. You can do them in both. I've used both sizes.
Okay.
But the first thing that you're going to do then is pick out your papers. Okay. And so what I'm going to do.
Oh, you use hot glue to
Well,
adhere these?
yeah, you can. I would use. I'm using hot glue because we're here.
But you
at
could
home-
use the runner or anything.
Yeah, at home I would probably use a zip dry Beacon Adhesive zip dry glue. That's my very favorite.
That's your favorite,
Yes.
okay.
Okay, and then for these, you lay them down. Okay, you're going to lay them down like this, and you can go ahead and adhere them, and then flip them over, and then you're going to trace.
Then
you're going
trim.
to take a pencil and then trace it, and then trim it.
Okay.
So then you're going to get. We'll move all these aside. And
Oh,
then
you've
we're
already
going to
done one.
have,
Okay.
yeah, I've already kind of done that. Okay, so then we're just going to go from here. And then the next thing we're going to do is just put some glue
You're just
on this.
gluing?
Just gluing.
There's no right or wrong way to put these either, is there?
No, it's just
whatever you like.
It's however, it's usually whatever moves me. I know that sounds silly, but a lot of times I have to sit back and look and see if I'm going to like it or not. Because sometimes I'll go, that
Do
doesn't
you play
look-"
music when you do this one?
No, I should though, huh?
Might inspire something different.
There you go. Okay, and the same thing with these. You're just going to glue these on down
Now,
here.
are these all in a sheet, or were these some of the
These
embellishments?
these are all in a sheet, and I just cut them
cut
out,
those out?
separate. Yes.
See, I love to cut, and I
Oh, I do
love to, like
too.
paper dolls. I never like to play with them, but I love to cut them out.
Yes, I do too. And the same thing with the film strip. And then what I did with this is I just bent it, just kind of rounded
to give
around
it
my
three
finger.
dimension.
Right. Just to give it that look.
And so, do you just glue it?
And then you're
at
just
the
going to do the same
mount?
thing with
On
this,
the valley folds, I think
Yep.
that's called.
and just glue that little puppy down there.
That is just so cute.
Okay. And then you're going to come to another spot. We're not going to glue these all on because I don't want to bore everybody. But then you're going to come to this step.
Now how did you get this on? Is that a
Now this is a bling. This is what I call bling.
Bling,
Yes. And this is, I didn't do this on TV because it's extremely hard.
to hold each one
It's-
separately?
It's all together, but it'll stick to your fingers. You have to
Oh.
work with it a little bit.
Okay.
So you lay it down, just lay your adhesive down. It's already stuck. The adhesive is already on the bling, and you just kind of lay it down, but you have to work with it a little
But
bit.
we could even use glue and then put glitter and shake that off.
Yeah, if you want to do it that
was
way.
easier.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you want to do it that way. And then the last things that I'm going to do is just add the little pretties.
So every little tiny scrap that you might have in that drawer
Yeah,
that you
look at
thought
that.
wouldn't go with, what's
You
that,
know-
about 6 inches of that's
yeah,
all you have.
just about. Nothing, Just, this is really good for, when you have leftover scraps from your other projects.
yeah.
This is a great way to do this.
Oh, a little
And then this
doily.
is a little doily that I have. Glue that on
You know,
there.
and that would be a way. I have lots of old linens, but some of them unfortunately have stains and spots on them. But it would be
Right.
good to use those, and then you could put something on top of where the spotted
Right,
place
and then
is.
you could just reuse them because nobody's going to see them once you cover them.
Oh, I love that little tree thing.
Isn't that beautiful? Now
Little branch.
that's just, you know, something that I found at my local craft store. You know, and then of course, because I'm a rubber stamper,
Yes,
I always have to, you know, add some ink somewhere. So on this one, I have my little tags, and I'm just going to add a little ink around them.
It kind of gives it an antique or an heirloom look,
Yes.
doesn't it? And that's what this is
Right.
reminiscent of.
Because
Anyway.
if you look at it like this, it's just kind
Kinda
of
plain.
plain. This just kind of gives it a little bit, you know, more oomph. And then last things that you do,
Oh, that bow, just some
just add
ribbon.
some, yep,
Or is that organza? Or it's wire edge, so you
yep,
can really
it's a
shape
wire
it
edge,
nicely.
yep. And then all I did on the back of it is I just glued some pearls.
Could be an old necklace that fell
Old
apart.
necklace that you don't want, yes, that would be perfect. And just put that on there. And then the last thing that you're going to do is just adhere all of your flowers, and I've got a
Whatever
little
else you have.
tassel here that I put on.
Oh, on a tag?
Yep, put it on my tag here.
I'm seeing new things every time I look at this now that I'm watching you make it.
I know, it's pretty amazing because you don't think that there's a lot of product on there
There
until
is.
you start working with it, and then you realize that there's really a lot.
Well, we'll take another look at this, and
There
I
you
bet
go.
everybody else can see new things on it too. And Lisa, thank you so much. You are so talented.
You're welcome. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Nancy, I'm so glad you're here today. I appreciate you coming, and you always bring such pretty techniques with you. And we're going to decorate cookies, sugar cookies. How plain can that be? And you said we can use lots of different recipes.
You can. I have a favorite one that bakes out smooth, but if you wanted to use refrigerated cookie dough because you were short on time, you do want to add some flour to it, and usually if I'm going to do that, I will also add some almond extract so it gives it a little bit of a different flavor so nobody kind of suspects that you've used refrigerated dough.
Good idea. Way to trick everybody. Well, let's take a look. We're going to do butterflies. Everything's coming up butterflies.
And remember the techniques that we're showing. You could use them for flowers or bears or, you know, basically any shape. I just thought this lent itself specifically to butterflies.
And the way you're going to show us about pulling the icing, that just is kind of the way butterfly wings are.
It's really impressive, and people don't realize how simple it is to do. And, you know, this same technique you can actually use on your cheesecake with sour cream and, you know, like caramel or chocolate sauce, and pull it through so it has that spider web look. So the techniques that we're doing, don't be afraid to apply them to some other dessert.
Good idea. Well, we're going to work on butterflies today.
Yeah, there's two ways that you can do this. This is a cookie icing that's pre-made, and I'm going to outline the body of the butterfly, and I haven't heated it. If you read the package instructions, it will tell you to put it in the microwave for like 10 seconds on 50% power.
Oh, just a
but I'm
short
going to
time.
use it just straight, thick to outline. And then you noticed I kept dragging it because it's a little bit harder to
continue
control than if you use a bag and tip. I'm a bag and tip girl, but this one works really well. And you'll see it's kind of self-leveling, so you do have to be a little bit careful and not overdo it. Now I see there's a little bit of a section there that didn't take, so I'll just take a toothpick and fill that in. Then what I would normally do is put this in the microwave, but I'm just like to live dangerously, so I'm just going to go ahead.
Oh, now you're going to fill in
And
the
I'm going to
body.
fill in in the body here.
But it does kind of flow together, so this is actually working real well. It gives it that 3D because it's raised.
And you see I kind of dripped a little bit, so it's kind of like, do I let it drip again or do I pull it? And I'll pull it real quick.
Quick.
Okay, so you know, if you have a drip, then just pretend that that's part of the design that you were going to do.
I like
so
that.
you've got the cookie icing. You can also use royal icing. You can use color flow. And royal icing is the icing that you use that actually has meringue powder in it, so it dries hard. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to outline. I have
Is this royal?
Yes,
that you're
this
using?
is. I'm using royal now. I used cookie icing before. Royal icing doesn't have that much of a flavor to me. It's just kind of plain.
Now, could you use the buttercream? I use that for cake decorating. Could we
You
use
could.
it for that and
You can
thin it?
thin down buttercream if you want to. It doesn't dry hard, so if you're going to try to
Oh,
stack them or anything like that, if you have any little tips, you can see I just take a toothpick and kind of straighten them out. And most of the time when you're doing a bunch of cookies, you really don't have to worry about it because it doesn't make any difference. The other thing I want to show you is I did have a little moist piece of paper
towel or
here,
something.
paper towel, because it does dry out. So if you are going to do a whole bunch, do all your outlining, and then if you're not going to outline, put something moist over it because it does dry fairly quickly.
That's a good tip.
So then to fill in, I've given you one that we've done, and you can just fill in with the cookie icing.
Okay, and I can use any color I want,
You can
right?
use any color you want. You can dot it in, you can make lines, whatever you want to do. I've got the royal, so I'm just going to snip a small amount down at the end of my disposable decorating bag, and I'm going to just fill in.
Ooh, this does flow nice. In fact, I think I was pressing a little harder than I needed to, but it's so pretty.
Well, the other thing is when you're getting your royal icing to the thickness, and see, that's the thing that makes it a little bit easier to use the cookie icing. You don't have to worry about the consistency because that's already done for you. If you're doing the royal, what you want to do is you want it to flow in and basically self-fill on a count of 10. So if I were going to hold this over a bowl and I would squeeze it in there, I would count to 10 and you couldn't see any lines at all.
That's getting kind of technical.
That's why it's easier sometimes to just use the prepared product. But again, you know, some people don't want to, and that's fine.
Yeah,
Now I'm doing a bunch of different colors, so it's taking me a little bit
I
longer.
am too. I think that's the
then,
fun part of decorating. Why make it blah? Wow, that orange is a pretty color. You should be using this orange. It would match your blouse. You had a pretty
So
color
make sure you get
orange.
enough in there, and then you can pull it through, or you can do dots. Again, doing a whole bunch of colors at one time is kind of cool.
Ooh.
And I'm just going to do this one wing, finish them out here.
Oh, you're doing it across, and I did it
You
up
can do
and
it however
down.
you
That's
want, and then I'm
great.
going to go back in and see I'm going to put a dot in there so that he has little accents. Now you can also use sugar pearls if you want to. You can see how it's beginning to go down. See, you know, if you counted to 10,
It levels.
it would level. And then I'll show you pulling through.
Okay.
It's hard to talk sometimes because you're
I know it. I'm just really concentrating on this.
Okay, now here's the technique that makes it look feathered. I just take the toothpick, and this is a little bit thick, but
So in mine, would I go up and down, or would I go across?
whatever you want.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't matter.
And see, you'll have a different look. You can see, I'm going to pull through here some more.
You know, and there's some places that there's nothing, but I kind of like that. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine too. So, you know, we can finish off with yours, and you can see the feathered technique. Yours is a little bit thinner, mine's a little thicker.
Yeah, this is very, it flowed really
So it's
nicely.
perfect. You know, you've got that feathered look where you've got the colors mixed, but you've also got the feathered look of actually just pulling it through.
You know, I'm going to put it right here because it looks pretty against this blue.
And you can see it's beginning to dry. Within about an hour, you'll have it fairly dry, so you don't have to, you know, worry about it too long. But before you'd stack them, you'd obviously want to wait a little bit longer.
Yeah, you're right. I hadn't thought about that with the buttercream because I know even transporting cakes or something, you've got to be careful because it's still, of course, that's why I like buttercream. It's so soft and creamy.
Well, people like buttercream. It's just the American favorite. People are used to a much sweeter icing. So it's a simple technique, and like I said, if you're going to do a cheesecake, you can put like a sour cream on top, and then, you know, you could put like caramel or chocolate or, you know, any other kind of flavoring, and then pull it toward the center if you
And
wanted
I've
to.
seen that in restaurants. I just didn't know how they did it.
You can do it on top
Wow.
of a cupcake, a cookie, a brownie, and it just gives a really nice look, finished look, like you did it at a bakery, but then you can say, I did this.
Myself. Well, thank you, Nancy. This is really fun to do. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the show today. Next time on Creative Living, we'll learn how to create some easy custom fabric designs, make designer jewelry, and show how to make a window valance. One of my next guests is going to show how to create your own fabric designs using an assortment of tulip fashion paints and dyes. She says this will elevate your craft and sewing projects to a new level. Another guest is going to show some different styles of jewelry blanks and show how to make custom photo jewelry with UV resins, which imitates the look of more expensive jewelry. And finally, another guest is going to demonstrate making an attractive window valance to dress up an uncovered window or to add color and softness to an existing window treatment, such as mini blinds. This technique works for either an inside mount or an outside mount. And my guest will show us step-by-step how to measure the window, select the fabric, tools, and notions, and then show how to create a valance that will look very professional when you're through. All of these topics will be featured on the next Creative Living show. If you ever have comments or suggestions or ideas for shows, you can email me at sheryl.borden@enmu.edu. And I'd also like to ask you to become a fan of Creative Living on Facebook. Just go to facebook.com and in the search window type in Creative Living with Sheryl Borden. Thanks so much, and I hope you'll plan to join me next time for Creative Living.
We are very pleased to offer a new booklet that accompanies this series of Creative Living. This booklet is titled the 6500 Series, and it features a wonderful collection of ideas and information, and it's available free of charge on our website. Posted as a PDF file, you can simply download the entire booklet, or just the segments you're most interested in. As with all of the Creative Living booklets, you'll find information on foods and nutrition, clothing and fashion, health and beauty, home decorating, and much more. For your copy of this booklet, go to our website at KENW.org and then click on Creative Living. Scroll down to the booklet section and you can click on this booklet or any of the other booklets we have available online. Once again, just go to KENW.org, click on Creative Living, and download the booklet, titled the 6500 Series. We also want to encourage you to sign up for our free e-newsletter. Just click on the Sign Up Now button and input your email address. That's all there is to it. You'll enjoy reading an up-to-date newsletter filled with interesting topics and information. Thank you.